Hey everyone, so yesterday I defended Trump. Today I will not be doing so. I will be talking about tariffs, which is nothing more than an artificial price increase that everyone must endure, or at least everyone who wants to purchase the products of which those tariffs are placed upon. Henry Hazlitt's book, Economics in One Lesson, is one of those books that I suggest to everyone. The PDF is free if you Google it. I suggest checking it out. It's a relatively quick and easy read too. So what does Hazlitt have to say about tariffs? He uses an example of tariffs in the sweater industry. American sweater makers will lobby Congress because they cannot get their prices under $15 a sweater, whereas English companies, for example, can get their prices down to $10 in the US. So the American companies persuade Congress to impose a tariff because if they don't, their employees may be out of a job because the business is not competitive enough. This is usually enough to convince the government to impose tariffs because, hey, they also get quite a bit more revenue due to higher prices and therefore higher taxes, especially on a state level, especially if that state has sales tax. This, however, is falling victim to that age-old flaw that nearly everyone gets duped by, the seen versus the unseen. It is easy to see a business that is not competitive being saved by artificially increasing the prices of its global competitors through government intrusion. It is also easy to see the jobs that were possibly saved specifically in the tariffed industry. That could very well happen, but what is another consequence of the tariffs? It would be the rising prices that everyone suffers from. In regards to the steel tariff Trump goes on and on about, steel is in both the final products that many of us purchase, or it is used in the capital goods that produce those final products. In either case, the price of steel will certainly have an effect on the price of goods that we all purchase. Trump can lay down a tariff on steel, and we may see steel jobs return to the US, but why did they leave in the first place? Because the consumer decided to purchase identical or similar products at cheaper prices because another country was able to get steel prices below what the US has. So a tariff is really a slap in the face to the US consumer. We will all suffer higher prices because of tariffs. You may see more U.S. steel jobs, as I said, and this might make you jump, cheer, and chant USA, USA, but at the end of the day, your wallet will be lighter. And also, what about the people who are entrepreneurs that are doing well internationally and domestically? These people, through no fault of their own, now pay higher prices due to the government interference. What this also comes down to is an industry that is not doing as well as it could be, like steel, and that hurt is being socialized. That pain is being socialized. Tariffs are a government-forced, communal economic injury that everyone must suffer through. So moving on, an underlying issue with all of politics resides in this issue. This poor economic decision may actually garner political points because, as I've said, Trump may impose these tariffs and there may be jobs that come back to the US in the steel industry. He will be able to point to a steel industry that seems to be thriving in the US. It's just that hundreds of millions of people in the US will then be suffering from higher prices. So the only saving grace here for Trump is if he doesn't really plan on imposing all of the tariffs he has been talking about. It is true that many other countries have tariffs on U.S. goods, while we don't have tariffs on their goods. Maybe this is a scare tactic Trump is using to get China to reduce or get rid of their tariffs. I am not sure. Maybe Trump is just going to put these on temporarily, just to ensure that they know he's serious. I would hope that that's as far as it goes, but I am really not sure. Because if he really believes this to be a sound economic policy, then you cannot call Trump a free market guy who favors lower taxes. Because at the end of the day, that's all tariffs are really. It's a not-so-hidden tax on the American people. It is just diverted down a few avenues so it's not a direct fee you are paying to the government. But when all is said and done, you are paying higher prices because of government intrusion into economic affairs. Any state with sales tax, as I said before, will see their revenues increase, while your wallet gets lighter. Your bank account becomes smaller. So as I said, if Trump is using this as a scare tactic, fine. I really hope that that's the extent of it. But if he really believes this to be an effective economic tool that will lead to prosperity in any large sense outside of a few industries, then he is by no means a friend of the free market or the American consumer. Thanks, and that's all.